let me leave it in this mode, so we have to go this way. I hate YouTube and all their new little finagled ways of screwing up the way we can twist our phones. Sorry, okay. Listen, don't think nothing of me. It is self-tan day, and I'm in my jammies, and I'm tanning, so don't, my color's off, but I've got to jump in the shower after I do this, so it's tan day. Just don't worry about it. And it looks horrible. Don't worry about it. It'll look good when I wash it off. I've got to get some stuff done because tomorrow I have to go to court about that lady. If you watched my lives about a year and a half ago, she got high on meth and was shooting toward my house, and for months she stayed in this manner, and the police finally arrested her. Got to go to court tomorrow, and she's got her hearing tomorrow, and we're going to take care of that. I lived half of my life in court because I'm a retired parole officer. I'm not looking forward to that. But this evening I'm going to make poke salad. So what we did was we went out. I say we. I let David go out and pick some poke. My towel here. So for anybody that doesn't know what poke salad is, I'm fixing to show you. Poke salad is this shape, and it has a stem like this, and as it goes down a larger plant, the stem gets bigger and it gets red. You only eat the top 6 to 8 inches of this plant, because once it gets old enough and it gets big enough, it actually has toxins in it that can potentially harm you. So it's, you know, only if you've done it before and you know what you're doing. Here's one that's a little bit more red. So this is what poke salad is. I've done washed it once. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it the really old-timey way. We're gonna cook it twice. I've got my oven heating for some hamburger. What I just pop it off the top twigs, and I just put the leaves. I don't put the big veins in there, the big stalks. I just put the leaves in there. I kind of like it more like greens. I don't like to have to do a lot of chewing on these big stalks. Even though they're perfectly okay to eat at this age and at the top of the plant, I don't want to. So I'm going to pop these off there. I've already washed them a few times, but we're going to cook them twice. So you're still going to wash them 2 more times. We'll cook it twice because we want to cook out the bitterness. If you don't bring it to a boil twice and then cook it, then it will have a bitter taste to it. The plant has a bitter taste to it. And I told David I didn't need a whole bag. He picked a whole bag. I've been hankering for some for a while, and so he went out before this cold weather. It's 40 something again here. He went out before we got this cold weather and picked some. I wouldn't necessarily, if it frosted again, I wouldn't pick it after it frosted. So I'm kind of particular about that. And if I see something I don't like when I'm pulling these leaves off, even after I washed it and kind of pick through them, I'll just take it out. I'll just take it out. Hello, hello, whoever's talking, can't see right yet. Just say howdy to you in a minute. So we're just going to go through here. I'm going to get most of the big stems off. I'm just going to pick the leaves and the very ends of the stems. And we're going to start our poke. This is poke salad. I don't have any bacon because I forgot, even though I went to the store particularly for bacon, because I don't have a brain today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use hamburger drippings from my hamburger steak I'm cooking in the oven. So that's what I'll put on mine to help flavor it after a while. Okay. I do have more, but listen, he picked way too much. So again, this is the shape of the leaves. They bunch up on the top, and as they get bigger, the stem gets a little red color to it. You only want to eat the top 6 to 8 inches of the plant, because after that, the plant can store toxins that will make you sick. This is just an oldie but a goodie recipe. And yes, I wash my hands a lot when I cook. And sorry, I hear Grandma in my head saying, wash your hands, wash your hands. Who we got in here? Because I'm blind. Hello. YouTube likes to throw me out an algorithm every once in a while. Listen, it's self-tan day. I've got a big day in town tomorrow. I look horrible. I'm tanning. It looks horrible until I get the shower and wash it off. But I just got crap to do. So here we are in our tan and PJs, cook and poke. That's just all there is to it. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's see. I'm going to get just a cup to move water with. And I'm going to cover the poke that's in this thick saucepan. I'm going to cover it with water. So we're going to cover our poke with water, and we're going to bring it to a boil. And we're going to boil it about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes each time. So you're going to poke for about 15-20 minutes. You're going to drain it, wash it, squeeze the water out. So you're going to drain it, wash it, squeeze the water out. Then you're going to put it back in your thick saucepan or your kettle, and you're going to boil it again. Got a little catch system in my sink. Okay, so we've got our big saucepan. This is what I'm using, my Pioneer Woman deep sauce. We're going to bring it to boil it for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to drain it, squeeze all the water out, and then we're going to put it back in here and boil it for another 15-20 minutes. Then we're going to drain it, squeeze it out really, really, really good. And we want it to be a little bit softer than you'd make spinach or greens. But it needs to pull apart really easily, and it'll be really kind of mushy in some places. So that's the consistency you want it. Then when you put it back in to cook it, you can cook it with bacon. A lot of people cook it with eggs. I kind of cook it just like greens, although sometimes I do put bacon grease and bacon in with it. I just kind of cook it like collard greens. I don't put vinegar in it. But we want to cook it twice, or we want to boil it twice to cook the bitterness out. So it will not be bitter when we cook it to eat it. We've got that on. That's what we're doing. Now I'm fixing to mash a hamburger steak into this oven. Had a whole lot of people ask me about poke. And it grows everywhere around here. It's really something that's just really easy to come across. And a lot of people still eat it. My mother-in-law did it wonderfully. She has her own little way of making it. And it's sweet. I have got some fresh beef from the farm, and I'm just mashing. I'll make like a hamburger steak in the bottom of my casserole dish. And I'll cover it with tin foil. Put it in the oven on about 375. Throw everything away. Make a mess. I like to keep my little catch system in the sink for my poke when I get it done cooking. So I've got my hamburger in the casserole dish. We're just going to season the crap out of it to cook. It's just going to be a plain hamburger steak, nothing fancy. Because I'm going to cook this poke twice. So a lot of people ask me about poke salad, so since I'm making it tonight, I thought I'd tell you. Not had the best day. It's turned cold here again. Got out and walked yesterday, and we went and tried out that fishing pole and saw how the string on it was needing to be replaced, but we cast it a few times. I let David with it. And we got out of the house, but it was cold, and this weather has, y'all, I finally ran out of my gourmet burger. And let's have a moment of silence. But we got out, and that weather was not good for me. So today, my back and legs have hurt really, 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 really bad. So I'm not having the best day today. Not having the best day today. On the bare minimum of that too. That's okay. That's okay. That is okay. I was going to go to the grocery, and I just felt so bad. I said, no, I'll go tomorrow after court. So even though I don't want to, I gotta sit through court tomorrow. It's gonna make me feel like I'm back at work. I don't wanna. Okay, let me put my hamburger steak in here. God, that's hot. Time that hamburger steak. Getting a late start, but David is at hog hunting. They wouldn't work today because of the rain. And this, all the flooding and crap that's happened in Middle Tennessee, so he's hoping he'll work the rest of the week. So that's where we are on that. Okay, get me a spatula one. And we'll get ready for my poke salad to start boiling. And when I'm just going to watch my timer and time it for about 20 minutes. And then we'll take it off, flush it, squeeze it dry, and then cook it again for about 15-20 minutes. And then we'll flush it, squeeze it dry, and you'll put it on to just cook it. A little bit of butter, oil, and then you'll put, I'm going to put my hamburger grease, a little bit of it for flavor. And I'm just going to cook it like I would for wilted lettuce. That's all I'm going to do to it. So, and then when David gets home, I'm going to try to grab a quick shower before I go to bed, because I do have a big day tomorrow. So I got a big day tomorrow. Court. I'm going to feel like I'm back at work. Enough time in the courtroom when I work there. I don't want to be there anymore. And I find it just that because of somebody else's behavior, I have to be there. Not happy. Not happy at all. Get me some butter out. So that's basically what we're having is poke and hamburger steak, and I might make some more of these couscous. That David seemed to like those pretty well the other night when I made them, so I may make some more. But like I said, everybody's been like, what is poke salad? Well, it's a plant. It grows in early spring. As it grows, you pinch off just the top 6 to 8 inches of it. As it gets larger down, it turns red. You don't want any of that. You want the top 6 to 8 inches. It's barely got a red tinge to it. Pinch it off. Take it home. Clean it really good. Wash it. Then you're going to boil it twice, squeezing the water out after each time. And then after 2 boilings to get the bitterness out of it, you're going to cook it like you would greens or wilted lettuce or something like that. You boil it twice to get the bitterness out. And you don't want to eat more than just the top portion, because as the plant gets older, it does have toxins in it that can be poisonous. So if you've never ate poke and you don't understand it, don't do it. But if you grew up eating poke, you know by now how to do it. So it's probably not, this is not anything new to you. But I do have a lot of people that have asked me about salad, so there you go. That's poke salad. So I've just got it covered in my big, thick Pioneer Woman deep skillet. I'm going to bring it to boil in about 15 minutes. Wash it, squeeze it out, put it back in, put water in it, boil it for about 15-20 minutes. Wash it, squeeze it out, and put it in to actually cook it with a little bit of butter or grease, and season it however you want it seasoned. So a lot of people, like I said, cook it with bacon and bacon bits and grease. A lot of people cook it with eggs and onions. I do have some garden onions. I'll probably put some onions in mine and just a hamburger crumble and a little bit of grease, a little hamburger grease, just a little bit to flavor it. And that'll probably be how I cook mine. It's not super in depth. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's about all I'm doing. Other than that, I've just been crocheting. Hang on, I'll show you what I'm crocheting. I've got all the pieces done. I've just got to put them all together. So this is the Lovey blanket done. It's like a stuffy, not stuffed. The foot will go down here, foot, hand. This is the unicorn head that'll go up here. She's got pink hair and ears. And I'll put it all together and it will be a unicorn Lovey. And I'm going to send it to my nephew and his wife for their baby that's due the end of the month. So I did this head on my own because I didn't like the pattern head. I just didn't like it. It looked too big. Let me show you. It just looked way too big. It looked so big and so weird. I'll probably make another one to put on, but it just looked like Miss Piggy. So this is the pattern head, And it just looked to that blanket. But that's what her hair's going to look like, the ringlets. And so this is, I'm going to make a bigger blanket for this one to go on for like a toddler or a pre-K kid. But the big head that they wanted on it, and I was like, this is too big. This is too big for that little blanket. It was too big for the blanket in the pattern. I was like, no. But I'm going to put it on something else because I already maybe put it together. But this was just too big for that little blanket. So I'll make another one bigger, and we'll give this one to a toddler or something. Let David put it on his Etsy shop or something. The most exciting thing that's happened in 3 days, because I've just been existing for 3 days. My aunt is coming in to stay with Mom while I'm at a doctor's appointment and the court thing, and I've got to get my brakes fixed on my Jeep. We need new brake pads. And so I'm up here this week getting that done until I go back. So my aunt's going to stay with my mom through that because Mom's blood pressure has still been kind of wonky. And I'm going to get that done, then I'll go back down to the farm. And I've just kind of been here because I'm tired. And I've just literally done nothing but exist and do some laundry. But the most exciting thing I did, like for 3 days, is I bought a Bigfoot crochet pattern. It's called Juicy Booty Bigfoot. And it's Bigfoot, but it's like the cheap turtle. It's got a butt. It's the cutest thing. I'm going to make one. And I'm going to give it to Dad and see if he wants to take it to any of his sales because I think it's cute. I think it's cute. They might not think it's cute. I think it's adorable. I also need to get stuff in the mail. The post office is not in my route. I'm really bad about getting to the post office because the one down has a lot of steps and the one the other way is not on my direct route. So I'm really bad about getting to the post office when I need to get to the post office. If you haven't figured that out yet. But I need to get by the post office. I will get there. I've got a bunch of running to do tomorrow after court. I don't even want to go. I hate to be in a courtroom. I've been there enough. When you're retired and you worked in the system, you don't want to go back. But I'm going to have to. Anyway, I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. So, this has been self-tanner day, self-tanning gym day. And I'm going to have to go take a shower a little bit and wash it off. That's why I look so weird right now. But it is what it is. So, that's kind of been what I've been up to. That's about it. I've not felt the best since this weather shift. Like, it's been in the low 40s here. Hoping all my stuff that I've got planted did not get zapped. It's supposed to start warming back up tomorrow. I do have some more seeds started. It's still really early in the planting season here because we have frost that goes so far into the year. So I've got plenty of time to get stuff started. David's got to till a couple of rows for me. I started the other stuff in my big mineral tubs from the cattle farm in my container gardens. That's all I've been doing. That's all I've been doing. I don't know how well to do because I'm not here all the time to watch them back and forth. But if I'm here, I tend to them. If I'm down there, I help Mom tend to hers. Not a big deal. So that's what I'm up to. But I did at least get out of the house yesterday, even though the weather was not great. I did get out of the house, and as we were driving through the farm, checking stuff, the farm that David is trapping, we saw a big tom turkey running through the field. He was huge. Like, he was massive. So we did see a turkey on the farm. That's the first time in a long time. So we know that the farm is getting here. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. There were no turkeys there before. Let me see if I can move some stuff so I can sit down, chew the fat with it. Oh my gosh, because if I stand over the stove, I will melt to death. Absolutely melt. Let's see if we can move ourselves without causing a huge problem. Ooh, it's a rock. See, I have more seeds started up there. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. It's been a day. Oh, it's been a day. Tired. So that's what I've been up to. Not a lot. If Sabrina sees this, I got your cinnabar in, so I'm going to finish on that bowl instead of making noise. It's making more noise over there. I've got to start working on I'm in the middle process of that now. I've got to get hers done and get it in the mail to her. Her birthday's coming up. Everybody tell Sabrina happy early birthday. Kim's birthday is Tuesday. I gave her present over the weekend. Hondo's back home. It was the first time his mama and his pack. And he did okay in the house. And he did great with the potty. But he hates to go outside. So when you take him outside, he gets terrified because it's the first time he's gone outside by himself. Like, I'm still with him, but without all his pack. and he gets really nervous. And he was actually like so nervous he was not eating and drinking well. And David would have to help me lure him outside. And it would take us like 45 minutes to get him outside. And David was like, "You can't do this when I'm not here." And I couldn't because, you know, push him to shove, David would just have to pick him up and pack him out. I can't do that on my own. So we're going to try to do split co-parenting on the weekends till he gets used to being here away from his pack and kind of ease him into it rather than just shock and awe him, because he did not take very good. I mean, he did okay behavior-wise, but he did not very good to being without his pack for the first time. So I don't want to like completely put him into shock, which I think he was close to being. So we're going to slow it down. We're going to slow it down. But like with the potty stuff, he never made a oopsie in the house. He knew he needed to go outside, but he was terrified of going outside. And he would just sit down to the ground and shut down. And it was too much. I couldn't handle him to get him out and in. But it's the first time he's been by himself without his pack. So I expected we would have hiccups, so that's a hiccup. And he is big enough that I can't like manhandle him on my own, so I can't like pick him up and tote him outside to make him go potty. So we were going to do a few weekends to see if we can gradually get him used to it. And when he does, he may not, he might. He seems to like us when he's here, but he's just got some stuff, you know, being separated from the pack the first time he's going to have to work through. He's a very pretty little thing, though. And he played with his toys, and he was getting comfortable in the house, but every time we had to go potty, he would just shut back down, and we'd have to start all over again. So we're just going to ease him into it, see if it's something he can tolerate eventually, and see if we can get him here. I'm tired, y'all. Has anybody else, like, had one of those weeks where it's just like, well, maybe it's because I've been back and forth. It changed my schedule of going to the farm. I went early because Mom's blood pressure had some issues, and then I got off the schedule I had in my brain, which was fine, but then I came back, and because I've got all the stuff to do this week, I'm trying to get everything done up here, because when I leave again, I probably won't be back up here for a little bit, and I'm trying to get everything done, and I'm just like, slow down, Elizabeth, slow down. So I'm with the weather slowed me down, because this cold snap, I'm over the weather. Mother Nature, get back on your meds, because we can't stand this anymore. It's too cold. You know, and it does this routinely here, but I don't remember such a cold snap lasting this long. This is like whippoorwill winter, or old people call it cotton britches. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, I was trying to crappie out of that little pond. There's some crappie in there. We were just trying to test that fishing pole, because I got it for $10 at that spring planting festival. It's a really nice reel. It needs to be restrung. I was just testing the little fishing pole out, and I had to let David kind of fiddle with it for a minute to see the string needs to be restrung. But I fished with it for about 30-45 minutes. It did pretty good. He fiddled with it for a minute and changed the arm on it, but we never had a bite. But it was cold, and I imagine the fish had already gone deeper, so they probably weren't very hungry. But I was trying to get a crappie. I'm hoping somebody crappie back there. I'm hoping there are. I like to fish for crappie. So he was letting me fiddle fart, and me and Sam and Dan fiddle fart to see what was in the pond. But when you fish that in the county, you have to have your head on a swivel, because there are bears everywhere. And it's like, what was that? Did you hear that? So somebody has to be kind of looking out at all times. Yeah, I'm tired. The weather has zapped me again, but I'm okay. I did get up and I put my tanner on this morning. That's why I like this, and I'll wash it off when David gets home. He's hog hunting. He's got a nuisance permit for that farm for the hogs, so he's hog hunting. He's supposed to tomorrow through the end of his work week, but they couldn't work today due to all the rain that was still in Nashville and the flooding that's occurred over the weekend. So he's hating this job. Like, he has to go, and he's not going. And so here, and he has these days where the weather, you can see the irritation. I think he plays it cool when I'm not here, and it doesn't sound like he's very upset with it, but he's upset with it. He likes the job where he works. He's not happy with it at all. I need to do some photos and put some, tell David to put some of those sticks, ceremonial sticks, on Etsy, because I got another polished steer horn and some other stuff to do some stuff with. And I'm fixing to make a fur mantle wrap just out of one coyote hide. And I'm going to cut it at the belly to where its paws go hang. I may cut the, I don't know, make them off. I don't know. But anyway, it's going to hook from the nose to one of the back hip. And so the tail is kind of right in the center front. And it's going to be a wrap. I got a thread on me. I need to pull the threads out of my apron. And so I'm going to work on that. I'm just trying to stay busy. Wherever I go, I take a bag of yarn with me. Bag of yarn and a set of hooks. That's where I go. But I've gotten a lot of stuff done in pieces. I just need to put them together. The next thing I make is going to be that Juicy Booty Bigfoot. It's a foot with a butt. It's like the cheeky turtle. I'm ecstatic. It's probably going to take me a while to make it, but I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited to make it. It's so cute looking. It's so funny. And my other friend has got a birthday coming up, and I'm going to make her. She likes to wear hats. She wears winter hats and spring hats and summer hats. So I'm going to make her a bucket flower hat so she can wear it, you know, like end of winter, early spring. So she'll put that in her hat collection. So I don't know what color I'm going to make it yet. It should be fairly easy. I like to just kind of sit there and zone out. Now today my eyes have not been the best, so I didn't do a lot of crocheting. But it's just where the weather's changed. I had been doing really good, but where the weather's changed, my eyes were not the best today. So I've taken it pretty easy today and rested quite a bit because sinuses, weather change, bad. That's been my weekend. But this was a pretty drastic. We went from like 80s to 41. No, thank you. I need a little bit of heat. I think my poke is about to boil. I think it may be boiling. It's boiling. And it smells. It's got a distinct smell. But I'm used to it. Some people might think it's bad. I'm used to it. We're going to let go for about 10 more minutes. And then we're going to rinse it, empty it, and flush it, rinse it, squeeze the water out. Then we're going to put back in the thick saucepan, cover it again with water, bring it to a boil again, boil it twice, get the bitter of it. Then we're going to drain it and squish it again, and then we're going to put it in our saucepan and cook it. You can cook it with eggs, onions, and bacon, how to cook by itself like spinach. I'm going to cook it with a little bit of hamburger meat crumble and kind of make it go with the hamburger steaks that I'm making. Hello, I saw the hand. I'm so blind I can't. I think it says Sherry. I'm so blind. Yeah, it says Sherry. Howdy, Sherry. So that's what we're doing today. Everybody had so many questions about poke. That's what it is. And I still have some of the plant left over because David picked a butt ton. I mean, he picked way too much, but he normally is overkill and everything he does. That's just how David rolls. So this is the stalk. As you can see, it gets some red in it down there. You see that red? You pinch off the top 6 to 8 inches. This is the very tip plant. This is the leaf. So all the leaves have their own, what is it? Is it a petiole or axle or, yeah. Anyway, they spin off the branch and have their own spot. So none of the leaves have a sibling. They're all by themselves on their own stem, and it gets red as it goes down and grows. And you only take the top 6 to 8 inches because as the plant gets older and more mature, it has toxins in it that can, they say, can be poisonous. I've never had a bad experience with poke, but this is how we make it. So, and I brush the leaves off. As you can see, I don't like to have to crunch all this up, so I just take these off and make it more like a spinach meal. It's really good. It grows everywhere, fence lines, edges of fields. You just have to know it. Know the way the leaves are patterned. So they got a very simple parallel lines, smooth edge, and each leaf is on its own stem, and it does have a red tint stalk. So that's poke salad if you ever wanted to know. You may not have, but hey, you know now. You know now. Let me check my greens real quick. Oh yeah, they're doing great. Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. leave the lid off now so I can watch them a little bit closer. They're boiling away. And remember, if you ever cook this, you boil it twice to cook the bitter out of it. So I'll empty it, flush it, wash it, squeeze all the water out the pan, cover it again, and boil it again. Twice. And then you can fry it in a little bit of, I'm going to fry it a little bit of grease with some hamburger crumbles and maybe some onions. But a lot of people still cook it with eggs. It's really good. You just mix up your eggs like you're going to make scrambled eggs. And then you put your poke in the pan, and then you pour your eggs on it, and you just cook it like you cook scrambled eggs. And a lot of people still put onions in it then too. It tastes good either way, but I just kind of like it more as spinach kind of side dish, so that's what I do. That's all I do. And I'd rather be crocheting. I picked up a bad habit. Oh, I was trying to play yarn chicken. I lost. I got half a frog and I lost. That's okay. I'll frog it. Frogging means take it out. I'll frog it and make a smaller frog. So. Oh my goodness. Let's see. If my mom would let me, I could sell her aprons on Etsy. I'm trying to get her to make an Etsy page. I said, if you want to just sell one or two things, David can put it on his page. I think my mother needs an Etsy page. Because she's got so much to sell. She makes pot holders, pot handle covers, trivets. Every time she's got those casserole things that you can wrap around the casserole dish and pull a hot casserole out that's got a little Insul Bright in it where you can't feel the heat. She makes everything. I don't like the heat, but now this when we have big weather changes, it hurts me. It makes like I'm swollen again. It's just where the weather's changed so much, and I'm just like, can we not? I'd like to. I've not really unswelled since the first week in March. My body has not done well, at all. Oh, sure, you've never ate poke? Yeah, we're weird around here. It's good though. It's really good for you. That and a lot of people do know medicinal plants. And I think the other day that was fleabane that I stumbled upon. But correct me if I'm wrong. That's one of those things that I hadn't seen in a while. But a lot of people know the medicinal stuff. But a lot of medicinal stuff here in the mountain, people still eat. When I was riding, I would grab sassafras leaves and eat the hound out of them. I will dig up sassafras roots and boil it and make tea. I'm weird. And people would see me just chowing down on sassafras leaves on a trail. I'd be like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm just eating sassafras. I guess they thought something was wrong with me. I don't know. I've been trying to push Mom to get an Etsy store going. Yeah, spring, every transition season is hard on me. But the older I'm getting and the longer this disorder has had a grip on me, it seems like every day is hard. I've learned to live in a good balance. Like I'm not being hospitalized all the time, and I'm learning to kind of play it safer with how my body's telling me I need to do, which is good. That's good. And I've not had to use a walking aid. Now today I came close because my back is really hurting today. This morning when I got up, I came close just saying, just give me my walking stick. Because my back was hurting that bad. But I thought, no, I've not needed it in almost a year since I had all that thyroid crap happen. I thought, I'm going to make it through. And I did it, but my back is really hurting. And I've not left the house. Because if I were to get on terrain, I don't know how that would go today. Yesterday, I've been trying to walk a lot more during the day, too. That may be what's, with the cold snap, what has made my body act out. But today's not been a great day. And it's so weird because, like yesterday, I felt decent enough. I wanted to get out of the house and go and cast that fishing pole a few times because I don't know when I'll get a chance to do anything again with everything that's going on. Today, if he asked me, do you want to go? I'll be like, no. I don't feel like it, and I know that every bump in the road and trying to get through the field, it would hurt me too much. So I would be like, no, I don't want to go. Fleabane is one of those things that you don't come across it a whole bunch around here, but when I see it in clumps, I'm like, oh, that's fleabane. I think it's fleabane, and I'm pretty sure that was fleabane, but fleabane's not one of those things that I deal with a lot. I think that's what I found today. I found a big starting of wild lettuce, a bunch of burdock. A lot of people don't wander around and look at stuff like that, but I do. I do. Yeah, grandma's had great knowledge. Yeah, I have done, my health has done remarkably better since I figured out how idiotic doctors were. Because it took them 6.5 years to diagnose this disorder. They should have known. I had an eye before they did. And it took a really great sports medicine guy to finally put it on the paper. But I stopped being a guinea pig because they didn't. And I just went back to goldenrod tincture, lymphatic tincture, um, a lot of dandelion, marshmallow root, gravel root, um, mullein and oil of oregano, stuff like that for your lungs, and just kind of self treating with nature, just things to keep the other stuff calm and healthy. And I've done a lot better. I've done a lot better. Plus, I'm allergic to like every flipping medicine under the sun, so I might as well, stick to the woods. Yeah, I haven't been hospitalized in over 2 years now. Knock on wood. Yeah, I feel a lot better just staying as natural as possible with the medicine. I feel a lot better. So, but a lot of it too is I'm not working 90 hours a week, trying to balance out my disorder with work, with everything else, and then having a huge hospitalization, feeling bad because I've missed work. That was just a whole cycle. I was irritated, my employers were irritated, and my doctors were irritated. And they finally said, listen, you're getting bad enough. If you keep doing this, you're going to stress your body out to where, and it started attacking my organs around 2007. They were like, it's not going to end well. And so I backed off and I started taking care of me. And it's been hard because I think I have to work to have worth. I think I have to, I went to school for 6 years. I have a master's degree. And I was doing this big career where I helped people overcome big issues. And I can't do that anymore. So it took me about 5 years to make peace with not being at work. So I'm not happy with it. I'd rather be working. I think that a lot of people are going to go back to natural. Um, we're going to see a big shift back to more of a apothecary style medicine. Because insurance are starting to dictate the doctors. Doctors no longer dictate what you need, and the insurances meet in the middle. The insurances dictate. But no one that works the insurance has to have a medical license. We're not getting good treatment. We're getting monetary treatment for the insurances. So I think people are now backing out and not having insurance, and are choosing to go to like clinics and fast-paced places to go in and pay cash to see doctors that they hear are better, that work in these places that they don't have to heed insurance all the time. And so going back to paying cash, a lot of people here still go to the Amish doctors. So I think we're going to see a huge shift because I think people are getting leery of insurance and understanding a money racket, and seeing it when they go pay cash, they actually pay less than what they would on their insurance, what they have left over as their co-payment deductible. So they're like, why in the heck do I pay for insurance? So, David had that insurance when he worked at that factory, and he paid more than if somebody had gone in and paid cash. And that was stupid. That was absolutely stupid. And he went that one time and had one CT and one dose of doll for a kidney stone, and then he passed it really quickly. And they wanted him to pay almost $7,000 after his insurance paid almost like $16,000. And we paid, I think, around $3,000. And then they got grumpy because even though we'd set up a payment plan, they said we hadn't paid enough. And I said, listen, I done in October. I said in December, the end of December, they issued the no full final bill payment. You can't bill over a certain percentage. And I said, you just hammered it to us because you knew in 2 months you weren't going to be able to, ask for all that money again. You were going to get slapped by the state and told what you could ask for. And I said, so you just waylaid us, knowing that we're in the middle income bracket. We have to pay for everything. A lower income bracket, whether we got to do. In a higher income, you don't care because they have good insurance. They pay a small amount in one. So you stick it to the middle income people. And I said, if we were to take you to court, the judge would see and would look at your hospital and the practices it did in the last 3 months. I said, because I've been talking to a lot of people around here. Because we don't have a local hospital. We have to go down the mountain or over to the next county. And I said, I've been talking to a lot of people, and you have been like billing way for things that if you call 10 other hospitals will do a third the price. So I think right now, I said, you can put me in collections. I said, but I'm going to take you to court. I said, I'm not paid till you take us to court. And then you can explain yourself to the judge. And she said, you really want to go to court? And I said, honey, I'm great in court. Great in court. And I said, I think kind of what y'all doing is, I said, you found a way to peg the middle class. And I said, get your money because you know you're fixing to get parameters placed on you. And I said, I'm not okay with that. And I think the judge will see what you're doing to people of Appalachia. And I said, we're tired of being financially reamed. I said, so if he then orders me to pay, I'll pay. But if he doesn't, so I'm willing to take that chance. I said, because I think what I called like 12 or 13 other hospitals, and we had already paid for $1,000 what they would have estimated we would have paid. And I said, I think you've got enough money for me. I said, but I said, if you want to play this game, I said, we'll go to court. After that, they hung out for about 6 months, threatened us a couple times, and I was like, send me an itemized statement. And then they sent an itemized statement from collections agency. I said, you sold my husband's health information. I said, that violates HIPAA. Because the collection agency sent me an itemized statement. I said, no. You can't have his health information. You can assume the bill, but you can't have his health information. So I got him in that one. They were kind of scared of me after that, and they just said, you're done. I was like, I know. I mean, I'm a bear, but don't beat me on a barrel. I'm hateful. But I think people are going back to the old ways, and I think they're seeing that, oh yeah, this is a much better, much better setup. Okay, let's move back because I got to flush my poke. Oh my gosh, my back, y'all, my back. Oh goodness. Okay. I know I'm a butthole. Okay, we have bowled. Turned off. I'm gonna be very careful when I powder. I'm so swollen. My arms are swollen. I'm just swollen all over, y'all. I'm swollen. Okay, be very careful when you do this, please. Okay. I've got mine in kind of a catch system. I'm going to run cold water and I'm going to smash them, flip them. They've still got a lot of structure to them. And you can still smell the bitter on them, so you while we cook them twice. Let's smash them, wash them. Now you're gonna mash. This is a small amount, but normally I was making it for a family of 4, but it's just me eating tonight. I'm gonna smash all the water out. And that's what it looks like after the first boiling. We're gonna put it in there. It looks good. But it's still really thick. I've got a catch system under my, so that I can see what's going on when I flush it, see if anything that comes out. I'm sweating already. I guess I got steamed. I did my dishes and they attacked me right then. Okay. Y'all, I feel so bad today. Alright, we're going to cover them again with water. Much less water this time so it'll boil quicker. And we're going to get them back on to cook in. We're going to do another 15-20 minutes. Let them boil. When we take them off and flush them this time, they'll be much thinner and stringier, really overcooked greens. That's what you want. And we'll squeeze them out again, do it a little bit better than I did right then. And then we'll put a little bit of oil and butter in our pan and we'll get them in there to fry. My hamburger steak is done by then so that I can just borrow some of its seasoning. That's the hope. That's the hope. Okay, we're gonna do it again. It's a slow meal. There's nothing fast about it. It's a slow meal. Let me see. Let me set this here Let me go get me something to work on crochet while I'm chit-chatting with y'all. I've still got to make more unicorn hair. So the unicorn levy I'm working on, I still have to make more hair for it. Because the other ringlets I put on the big one long for the little one I'm making, so I've got to make smaller ones. Let me turn the brightness up so I can see what in the world I'm doing. I'm sorry, Sally. YouTube has been weird lately. You finally got garden time in? Good. It's just been too cold here. I'm going to start a chain, and I'm going to show you how to make these little ringlet curls while that boils again. I'm sorry, country. You start with a slip knot. And the pattern said chain 26. On that bigger one, I chained about 35. But you're going to have about a third the length that you chain. I just eyeball it. So I'm just going to sit here and chain for a minute. My hands are wet, and so my yarn's sticking to me, doggone it. Ugh. Excuse me. Thank you. But my shop is due at the end of the month, so I'm going to get that in the mail. I've got Ashley's and affiliate stuff to get in the mail. And I've been trying to do some stuff to add in there. And I just had a wild week last week with Mom's blood pressure and stuff. It was just a wild week. But she's feeling better now, but it's just been weird. She doesn't normally have those kind of issues. So she's going to have a stress test. And my aunt's going to stay with her since I've got a doctor's appointment and this court thing with this crazy woman this week. I don't want to go to court. I sit there and I know what's going on. And you see the same people having the same problems as when you worked in that. And it's just like, really? It's just like, really? And at some point I've got to handle the neighbors because that building got dropped way close to our property line, which could cause issues with our insurance or home insurance. And how do you tell people, well, the company that they bought it from should have known they couldn't drop it there. I just chained about that much. You're going to go in the third from the top, and you're going to do 3 single crochets. You're going to see me double reach for stuff because my hands are not the greatest today. And you're going to just go to 3 in that same little hole. Hang on and I'll read that. So effectively, you're going to go down the chain, every hole you're going to do 3 single crochets, and it runs out of room, so it makes it twist on itself. So that's something I've got to do. That's not going to be fun. There were cows out here the other day, and the lady whose cows were out, they've been out multiple times. Last year they went out, and actually 5 of them got hit. And she was on the end telling people, if you hit my cows, you're going to pay me back for them. I said, no, ma'am. If you let your livestock off your property after knowing they've done this before and that you need to repair your fences, I said, you have a criminal issue for negligence if you don't get your animals put up. I said, put your animals up. As a farmer, I said, you're responsible to maintain your animals on your property. If they leave your property, they're responsible for damage they cause. And if they get on a state or county highway, you could get criminal issues. And she didn't believe me, so then I had to go and copy and paste, annotated code for her. And she still thinks. She's like, we could have asked them to pay for a cow that they hit. No, ma'am, you couldn't have. That was your cow. You should maintain it on your property. Well, they're supposed to have control of the vehicle. I said, control of the vehicle is one thing. I said, black cows stand in the middle of the goddamn highway at night. So I was trying to, she's just been a nuisance to the community. And I was trying to help her understand, you can't go around threatening people. You need to make better fences, heifer. I'm getting real tired of her. She's been a nuisance to her. She's moved here, and she's just a nuisance. She just needs to go away. Like, we don't mind if you come here, but, play well with us. You've never fixed her. Well, at least now you can identify it. You know what it is. Sal, if you ever see anything posted that you think I might like, just tag me in it or screenshot it and send it to me. Ashley does that quite a bit. I've made a couple things for Ashley, and it's helped me, learn to read patterns better. And especially like the Lovey pattern was written in the UK version, which I had to then go back and write it out in the American version, the English version, because they use like Their double crochet is actually a single crochet. They just, the stitches are called, I had to go back and kind of translate it before I could do the lovey without having to think in my brain much. So I had to go back and write all that out. But I can do it. It's not a problem. I like to do patterns that make me learn new stitches. I love to learn new stitches. I may not retain them if they're very, you know, elaborate, but it's nice to learn them and know that they exist, and then have them to think, you know, if you run across another pattern that might benefit from them, go back, oh yeah, I know a stitch that will work there, and then go back and look it back up and use it. I like to do that. So you can see it's starting to roll, and that's just because you put too many in one spot and it forces the fabric to wrap around itself. It forces the fibers to wrap around themselves. My hands are not working well today. And where I washed my hands, my yarn's sticking to me. Normally it glides. So anyway, that lady was completely out of touch with reality, thinking she could just let her cattle roam. And somebody, if they got on the state highway, she wouldn't be responsible. Ma'am. So the whole community has been like, this woman needs to, there's been a bunch of wrecks caused by her cattle, and people are getting done with it. And the local law enforcement they're going to start charging her with some stuff if you know, it's going to be negligent, and she's going to be in trouble. And I just, you know, hate to see her go through that, but if I show you black and white laws that tell you what you're doing is wrong, and you still think what you're doing is right, listen, I can't help you see common sense. I just listen. What did you think of the leather? There was a lot of it, and I thought that I might ask about the price of that other stuff, and then Mom got, her pressure went up sky high, and I chased that squirrel for a week. Everything changed in my world. So I gotta have brakes put in my Jeep Wednesday. Wednesday I gotta be at the garage. So I got a full week this week of stuff to do up here before I go back down. So, and then I'm gonna, but my aunt's my mom this week and part of next. So she's got somebody work, and that's the big thing. I just didn't want her to be alone. I was just gonna stay if her blood pressure hadn't panned out, but it did better. So I come back up to take care of this court crap and not have to drive so much up and down the mountain. So I've also got my old physical therapist. I'm not doing physical therapy during the summer because I normally move enough that I don't need to. But she wanted another turtle for her grandson, so I made her another turtle. I've got to meet her at some point this week and give it to her. So I have become the crochet spot for everybody, it seems. Of course, it's because I don't charge a lot because I enjoy crocheting. So on my crochet the other day, it was we were next to a crochet artist, and I will not do like major plushies. I'll do wildlife, but they kept coming to ours and buying ours. Yes, I'm going to do the Juicy Booty Sasquatch crochet pattern, and it's going to be hilarious. I cannot wait. That's the next one I'm going to start. I'm going to do it and that flower hat at the same time, so when my eyes cross from reading the pattern, I can go back to something easy. I hear David. I hear Dave coming in. If he can get in. There he is. He got in. I'm live. How you doing? Did you see anything? Nothing moving. Too cold. Bunch of ducks. After all the rain, that doesn't surprise me. We got our poke on the second run, so after it boils this time, I'll fry it. I'm glad you thought to stop and get you some drinks, because I'll tell you, you didn't have any more in that fridge back there. Thank you. That is nice to roll-on stick. Is your kidneys hurting you? He says his kidneys are bothering him, guys. It's not good. Been under a lot of stress lately. They changed him to the work crew at Nashville, but they have no idea where he's going after the Nashville contract, and he's just looking for a different job. And his kidneys are now bothering him. So that's great. Probably have another ER be able to be paying on here soon. Lovely. Let me show you. I've almost got it done.
I'm gonna go back out here and do this video again because it wouldn't seem.
Okay, look.
Take the possibility that about 4 minutes.
So it makes ringlets. He's been working on a video for you. Hi. He said, hey. Plant 28 bell pepper plants. Wow.
I'll try to do a live weekend this weekend.
He said he tried to do a live next weekend. Boiling again. It's been boiling for a couple minutes. We're going to keep an eye on it. He came in, he's already back out. He said his kidneys are bugging him. So watch him have a kidney stone and back up to the ER, and there'll be another bill. I'm getting real tired of this. He doesn't have any insurance at the moment. People that, if you're in the middle bracket, you just get screwed because you pay for everything, you get no help, you get no aid. Nobody will give you a break because they know that you don't get any help, so you're going to pay them every penny, so they nail it to you. And you just go through life knowing you're going to get taken advantage of. That's all there is to it. Sad. It's a sad world. I'm almost done. Making sure that doesn't boil over. It's boiling now. Turn it down. I shouldn't have washed my hands again. It made my yarn stick to me. Yeah, thank you. Does anybody else watch Fearfully Created on YouTube? Marina and her husband Shane. They're from down the hill in the valley. I think they're down toward Mount Juliet, I think. McMinnville, Mount Juliet, right down that way. There's the ringlet. That's what it makes. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, the ones that I got from OT on here, they have germinated super quick and done really well. Quick. No, I'm pretty slow right now. That's a really easy stitch to do. It took me a while to not devastate the chain when I did it, but now it's really easy. Got ant on my iPad. It rained. Ants are going to try to come in my house. I've got some blue sunflowers started, and by golly, they better be blue. Y'all know I've been trying for a blue sunflower ever. So, they better be blue. I bought blue sunflowers. They sit with sunflowers. They better be blue. Oh my gosh. Blowing away. I'm so tired and swollen and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm to the point I'm so swollen that I'm just over it. I'm uncomfortable. I think maybe after I take a shower I might feel better, wash this tan off of me. I might sleep okay tonight. I don't know. Get some gravel root down David's throat. For his kidneys. Okay, this is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and drain it again. It smells right now. Anybody else understands that? It smells right now. Okay. fry now. Put me some butter. And that's about it. I'm putting, when my hamburger comes out, I'll put them burger crumble on the top with a little bit of the grease from the bottom, just a tiny bit. And that'll give it some flavor. But you can do it with eggs. You can do it with bacon and bacon grease. I mean, it's whatever. People cook it a bunch of different ways. That's good. My hamburger steak has 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes. Yeah, that's poke salad. I just made enough for me and David to have a serving. He picked a little bit more, but I may put it and make it tomorrow. I planted over 800 seeds here. I planted probably 600 for Mom the other day and some bulbs. And I've got more to plant. It's just when I get to deal with these onions real quick. It's just when I get to it and the weather lets me get to it. Because I don't really want to put much else in the ground until the weather turns around. Shake my onions off. I'm going to dice up a little bit of onions, put in there. I'll even put the green, a bunch of the green in there. A little pair of knives, almost too tiny for this. Do y'all see how much Dad's already got coming in down there in his tubs? Of course, they live down the mountain, so it gets and stays warmer there than it does up here. So he's already got a bunch of stuff coming in. And I'm not even trying to put crap out. Just barely. Put my onions in there. I think I dropped one. Guess I'll have to sweep and find it. Put my onions in there. Oh, it smells good. Oh, it smells good. Hot. I've washed my hands. I will be someone that will rub it all in my eyeballs. Because I'm that smart. Okay, put that back up. I shall use it tomorrow. Now, if you got some olive oil, you can put a little bit of olive oil in here with them. I would prefer to use a little hamburger grease, though, for a little bit more seasoning. I'm going to put some Himalayan salt on them, though. Ah. Boy, that just goes real slow, doesn't it? How? Dropping everything. Okay, get that mixed in. Yeah, it is really easily smushed. Not a whole lot of bright green left in it. And that is what we want. It's gonna look like snotty spinach. This is what my mama makes. It's got Insel Bright in it, so you can't feel the. So I'm gonna get my hamburger steak out. Oh, that hurt. Okay. I wrapped my aluminum foil way too good. Ow. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my ladle. Ladle. I'm gonna get my ladle. I'm gonna dip it in my grease that cooked out of my burgers. I'm gonna put a little bit on my poke. Literally like maybe 2 teaspoons, 2.5 teaspoons. Yeah, that's good. Gonna let it cook. Grab some burger and put in there and fry with it. Make it crispy. Overcook it, make it crispy. Oh, that's good. There we go. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Chop it up. So now it looks like that. I'm just gonna finish cooking it on down, let the burger get really, really done and crumbly. And then whenever you're happy with it, eat it. Got a lot of good stuff in it for you, and it's not very difficult to make. I'll put my casserole over there so I can make some couscous. Oh. Where did my other thing go? Oh, me. My bag. Oh, I've forgotten how much I put in here. I was almost right. That's almost right. Butter. Butter. I like these couscous. I don't eat a whole lot, but I like them. I'm swollen. I don't feel good. I've been so swollen for a couple days. I've had like my stomach's been nauseous, and it's just from the fluid on me. That's all it is, from the fluid on me. I just don't feel great. But David's finishing up a video for you, so I guess if I feel like it after I shower, I will help him finish editing that and post it for y'all. So I guess you'll have a Trapper Day video tonight. You've never seen poke salad? Today. We don't have a penny day at our dollar store too, but I watched that crazy coupon lady. I don't know what. Anyway, and she will tell you exactly what to buy, the useful stuff, to get it for like super cheap. And of course, the Saturday that I was down there at the spring plant, she had like $42 worth of stuff you could get for $6.72. And I was like, of course, the Saturday I'm busy, because it was only with the Saturday deal. So, but I'm trying to learn how to do all that. I do have Dollar General bucks in my Dollar General account, so I can use that when I get there. We're just cooking them down now, y'all. Okay, and that's it. You're just going to cook it down. You're going to get it to be the consistency you like. So cook it down with whatever eggs, onions, bacon, whatever you want to cook it with. And it's kind of like a really overly cooked spinach. Greens. Well, you're doing good. I started the DG coupons because I don't go to the dollar store, but since that lady's showing how to make your money stretch there, I thought, well, I can do that because they do have a lot of stuff I would buy if I knew how to do what she did. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying. It's some days I'm just like, and just pay for it. And some days I'm like, no, I'll do this. It just depends on the mood I'm in. Okay, so that's about it. I'm going to finish this up and let Dave eat. I'm going to go jump in the shower, wash my tan and stuff off, so I look like a regular human being tomorrow. So today somebody's been making mud pies in the storm. And look for a Trapper Dave video tonight if I get it edited. Maybe I'll unswell, deflate, and feel better here in a couple of days, because that's just kind of where I am right now. I'm just tired and swollen, and my body's been having problems since spring started trying to get here in March, and I'm ready to feel better. So, but I do have a doctor's appointment Thursday, so tomorrow I have to go to that court thing. Wednesday I have to go get my brakes done. Thursday I've got the doctor. Got a busy week, but I'm going to ask her what we do to help this swelling move on out, because I just feel like I've been stuck in a half flare for a couple months now. I'm over it. I am really, really over it. So I'll keep you updated, but I'm super busy this week. But if I get a minute to crochet or get that other bunch pattern started, I'll try to put pictures up as I make it so that y'all can see what he looks like, because he's going to be very, very, very cute. Oh, I just like this. This is just a normal up here, so glad I could share. I'm gonna let it fry really hard for a minute and cook everything down. I'm gonna feed Dave, and I'm gonna take a shower. I may well edit that video too at some point. But y'all have a good night. Go to bed in a good mood. Be thankful for 3 things. Wake up in a positive attitude. Send up good energy for me tomorrow. I'm gonna hate tomorrow. I have to sit in the courtroom again. Is what it is. And then I'm going to do my run into town before I come back and crash. Hoping I feel good as it warms up this week. It's supposed to hang in really nice temperatures once it gets warm, so I'm hoping that I'll feel better end of the week. So this week, and then I'll catch you when I'm back down at the farm as well. But if I have time, I'll try to do a live later in the week. So thanks for hanging in for dinner. That's how you cook poke salad. Thanks for overlooking my tanning pajamas and not feeling great today. But thought you might want to know how to do that since everybody asked me. So I appreciate your time, and we'll do this again as soon as I have time to sit down with you. I'm going to get my crap done and go to bed. Bye, guys.